Hi, I'm Jonathan Burns with Tallahassee Nurseries. I'd like to talk to you today about a group of plants called Abelias. I think it's a really underutilized group of plants for our landscape here in the Deep South. They perform really well through our hot summers. They all share a couple traits in common, but each one has a little unique attribute that makes them great for different spots in the garden. All Abelias are extremely drought tolerant. They all do well in full sun to part sun. They give you beautiful flowers in the summertime when most other plants are really flagging. They attract butterflies and hummingbirds, and they're all pretty low maintenance. Really, once a year trimming is sufficient to keep them looking good. So they all share those great attributes. Individually, each one is good for different sites, different uses. I'd like to start with this one, which is Rose Creek. This is kind of the workhorse of Abelias. This gets used the most. It's a very compact grower, about 2 to 3 feet tall and wide, stays very full, and has big clusters of flowers. This one has actually finished its first round and is getting ready to do a second round of blooms. Most useful as a mass planting or as a foundation plant since it's low and compact. Edward Goucher. This is another fantastic variety. This one is larger with these very graceful arching branches. It gets to about 5 or 6 feet tall and wide. Purple flowers, purple pinkish blooms, and this one is actually very heavily scented. I recently was at a wholesale grower. I had the wonderful opportunity to walk through hundreds of these in full bloom. The scent was incredible. This would be wonderfully used as an informal hedge somewhere you wanted to create a boundary without sending the wrong message to your neighbors. This is a very friendly border plant. The scent is just fantastic and very low maintenance. Francis Mason, this one has variegated leaves in the spring. All the new foliage comes out lime green. It's a very showy plant in the springtime. As you see, it's also producing flowers. These ones are white in the summertime. Has a more compact habit, but not quite as tight as the Rose Creek. Francis Mason is going to be about 3 foot tall and wide, but it still has some of the arching habit to the branches. So it's a very delicate but tight grower. For the very smallest, we have 2 plants. This one is called Hopely. This stays very small, about 2 foot tall and wide, very tight grower, variegated foliage again that persists all through the growing season. So you've got white and yellow all year round with the small white flowers again to attract all our butterflies and hummingbirds. Kaleidoscope down here. This is just a wonder plant. It's unbelievable. Every season it has a different color. In the dead of winter last year, these all had beautiful lime green foliage. Really stunning in the stark winter. The new growth comes out different shades of red and orange. They go through all different color cycles throughout the growing season. So it's always an interesting plant and a very tight grower at 2 foot by 2 foot. Little bit of blooms. It's not the heaviest bloomer, but it's fantastic for a border plant along a walkway or as a very low foundation plant. And of course, the butterflies and hummingbirds do love these blooms when they come out. Our last choice is Canyon Creek over here. I think this is the best bloomer. If you're going for flowers, the Canyon Creek is really a fantastic choice. It has these big clusters of blooms. The added bonus is in the spring, you really see the new growth coming out, a copper color that then fades to a lime green. You will get that on new growth throughout the year, but the spring flush, when all the new growth is coming out, this beautiful copper color, it's just stunning. And then your summertime, you get these pretty flowers. One added benefit of Abelias is once they're done flowering, the actual bloom are these little white or pink trumpets. But once those finish, the back of the flower, the calyx, remains, and that's these clusters here of kind of a rusty rosy pink. These will persist all through the rest of the summer into the fall. They're beautiful in a cut flower arrangement. They're not attracting butterflies or hummingbirds at this point, but they do look very nice. And again, for cut flower arrangements, they're fantastic to have in the yard. So whatever your space is, there's probably an Abelia that's going to fit, and their maintenance is just so limited. They have very few pest problems, very few disease problems. They're extremely tough plants, and I just love them. Hopefully there's one that's just right for your garden. Thank you.